Donald Trump's supporters are starting to turn on him, if only a little bit. Some of them are starting to directly attack him because they feel betrayed. And at his core, Donald Trump is afraid of his own movement. There's a really good column that made this point, that Donald Trump is actually afraid. He's in a sense trapped by the monster that he created. And this isn't me or the columnist being sympathetic to Donald Trump. If anything, it's him getting his karmic justice. But he is absolutely trapped by the monstrous movement of his own creation. He knows Trump is dumb. Don't get me wrong. Trump is a dumb. But he's not so dumb that he doesn't understand how his lies and his delusions and his conspiracies hurt his chances of winning in 2024. That when it comes to everyone outside the core Republican base, he looks like an absolute moron, even more than he did back in 2020. And so when he comes out talking about August returns to power, and he comes back talking about getting back to power before 2024 more generally, or he's talking about, the science of COVID not being accurate, all of this stuff being absolutely insane. The regular American person knows it's absolute lunacy. He can't say anything else. Like, even if Trump wanted to, maybe he does, but even if he wanted to, he can't, because his own movement has trapped him. So as his own movement, created by himself, does awful things, evil things, things that are 100% politically disastrous, he can't do anything about it. Remember, his movement is already starting to attack him and his family. We've covered this for weeks now, how when Trump asks for money, his own supporters start to snap at him a little bit, saying, quite brutally, "You're a billionaire. You promised me you would get back into power. You lied to me. I want my money back, and I certainly don't want to give you any more until you keep your promise to overturn the last election. Why are you begging me for money when you haven't even got the job done and you have all this money in the world?" And it shows that his supporters are growing impatient, and some of them are starting to lash out, not only at society, but at him. I want to read you a paragraph from this article because it really shows how Donald Trump is sort of trapped by his own people. Trump talks about the loving mob on January 6th that stormed the Capitol. It not only amounts to an endorsement of the insurrection, but also evinces his desperate obseisance to his followers, no matter how repugnant they may be. Trump's fear of his own base has, if anything, increased since he fled Washington before Biden's inauguration. Trump, who had bragged about his purported role in coming up with the vaccines, nonetheless got vaccinated in secret for fear of offending his anti-vaxxer base. With the Delta variant running wild now, he has emphasized the freedom of Americans to refuse it. And so you can see Donald Trump understands that politically it makes sense to be seen as the guy who helped bring the vaccine to fruition. He understands that, but he can't come out and say it all the way because his base is full of nut jobs. Donald Trump deserves this. I'm not sympathetic to Trump. He created a movement based on hate and stupidity, and now that hate and stupidity is hurting him. And the most delicious part is all these Republican ghouls like Marjorie Taylor Greene. If Trump all of a sudden became less crazy, she would take the mantle directly from him. Trump created a monster, and it might kill him.